Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm just looking at who's here. Welcome, JNS, your first time. So nice that you could join us. I'm Kath Armstrong from the Cheapskates Club, just in case you didn't know who I was. And I'm so pleased to be here on Tuesday, the 9th of June, 2020. If you're watching live, that's tonight, to talk about a slight bit of a sidetrack to what we've been talking about the last couple of weeks with restocking our pantries, talking about how we're eating our way into debt. So if you are watching and it's not the 9th of June 2020, then you're watching the replay. Now, a couple of housekeeping things. I would really appreciate it if you could give us a thumbs up. If you enjoy the show, sometime during the show or before you leave us at the end, that would be really good. It really helps us, it helps me know who likes what I'm talking about, and it helps us with our YouTube rankings, ratings, whatever they want to call them, so that we can stay visible for people that are searching for us. And the other thing is, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Did you notice at the top, we've hit 2,000 subscribers, just over 2,000 subscribers. So, folks, that means we're going to do another giveaway. Hannah and I will put our heads together this week and see what we can come up with for a giveaway for having over 2,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for taking the time to click that little subscribe button and let me know that you like watching our videos. Alrighty, now I was managing to say hello to some people: Jules, Anne Gray, Lorraine, Kathleen. Sorry, folks, I had spag bowl for dinner, and now I'm going to hiccup all the way through the show. I do apologise. Julian, Rod, Leonie, who else? Michelle Smith, Patricia. I think I saw Meryl. Yep, there's Meryl and Yvonne. So just about all our regulars are here. Patricia, Rebecca, Delaney, happy 2000. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a bit exciting. Outback 6, Kerry's here. Well, you know, reaching 2,000 subscribers, I would have been happy with 100. I would have thought that, you know, if I had 100 subscribers, that was going to blow my mind, because this was, even though I've done TV work for years and years and years, coming up close to 26 years I've been doing TV work, this is very different to what I was used to doing with proper lights and a real cameraman and a sound guy and even sometimes hair and makeup. That would be nice occasionally. But, you know, so doing the YouTube and doing it live in our home was a bit mind-boggling to me. And of course, you all know, because those who have been with me from the beginning have, you know, travelled through the technological disasters with me. I'm not technologically competent. I'm technologically incompetent. So sometimes things go awry, but we've managed and we've got 2,000 subscribers. Yay! So I'm very excited about that. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Wendy. So now, just some housekeeping. What was I doing? Oh, this weekend. Hope you all enjoyed your long weekend. Here in Victoria, it was the first weekend we could get away for 12 weeks. So, and it was a long weekend because it was the Queen's birthday weekend. So, of course, what did Wayne and I do but pack the car and go? We left on Friday morning and we arrived home about tea time last night, and we had the best 4 days. It was so nice and so relaxing. And even though every man and his dog and his children and probably his mother-in-law were out camping too, it was still a really great weekend. Freezing cold, folks. Oh my goodness. I have never been as cold as I was on Friday night. Frozen solid. So very cold, even in bed. So, but Saturday night and Sunday night, I sort of layered on the socks and jumpers and beanies and scarves and gloves, and also we were fine. But oh my gosh, it was cold. Days were beautiful. We were blessed with the most wonderful weather. Still cool, but sunshine, oh, it was glorious. So we had a fabulous weekend. We didn't do much. We sat around camp. In fact, I only left camp once to go on one drive, and then Sunday I stayed back at camp by myself. I read a bit, I potted around, I had a snooze. I'm getting to that nana nap stage, even though I'm not a nana yet. So yeah, it was a great weekend. Coming home yesterday was a bit traffic. Oh my goodness, because every man and his dog and his kids and his mother-in-law were also heading back into Melbourne. So the traffic was a bit outrageous, but we managed. And it was a good day. We had breaks. We had a break for lunch, pretty little park in Toongabbie. Then we stopped in somewhere and had a coffee. Then it was good. It was all good. So it was a really relaxing weekend, and I can honestly say social distancing did not exist. I was looking at the people. Oh my goodness, they were, I'm assuming or hoping they were all family because they were close. They were really close. Oh, it was good. So anyway, thank you, Sue. So tonight I thought I'd talk about, we're talking about restocking our pantry and being prepared rather than being a preparer rather than a prepper, how that works for our lifestyle, our cheapskate lifestyle. And as a bit of a segue, I want to talk about the cost of snacks or the cost of eating, because this weekend I noticed, even with us, and it was just Wayne and I and another friend, and we shared the cooking and whatever, there was a lot of food consumed, more than we would normally eat at home over a weekend. There's a lot of food consumed. So that had me thinking, well, why? Because normally we eat the same as we eat at home. So it shouldn't cost us, technically it shouldn't cost us any more. But this weekend I threw in Cheezels were on sale. No judgment, please, no judgment. Don't judge me. Cheezels are my all-time favourite snack food. Love Cheezels. So Cheezels were on sale, so I bought a box. Then I made heaps of sausage rolls. So we had some sausage rolls. Then I had some biscuits. So we ate biscuits. Now we shared them between the three of us. I didn't eat them all. Then plus we had our breakfast and we had our lunch and our dinner. We had toasted marshmallows in the fire. We had hot cross buns. Who knew Coles are still selling hot cross buns? They're going to sell them all year round. I didn't know that, but they are. So we had hot cross buns. We had cheese and bickies and cabana and pickles and things to nibble on. Or just so much food. So I was wondering, had me wondering and thinking, you know what? Apart from the fact that we eat more than we need to, we're eating our money. People say they can't save, probably because we eat it. So it had me thinking, right, hello Lucinda, hello Barb, hello Susie, yeah, Maureen. Judy, you're still in hospital, that's no good. Well, I hope they're looking after you well. Goodness. Yeah, I really hope they're looking after you well. It sounds very, very, very painful. Right, so are we a nation of money munchers, folks? Are we eating our way into debt? Is the fact that we overeat the reason we can't save money or we can't pay down our debts or that we have debt? all questions that pop through my head, as it does at 3 o'clock in the morning when things are going all right. So, yeah, can the amount of, daily food intake, especially in the area of snacks, be equated with debt? We don't normally snack a lot. We usually have breakfast, lunch, dinner. Sometimes on the weekend we'll have an afternoon tea. I never have morning tea when I'm home here. We don't have morning teas on the weekend. Sometimes over the weekend we will have an afternoon tea, but it will be something that I've made. I don't often buy snack foods. It has to be for a purpose. So Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries, first weekend away in 3 months.
Cheesel's a half price.
Cheesel's a half price, yeah. I will buy snack foods. I rarely buy soft drink. It's not something that I buy because I can make ginger beer, I can make cordial. I don't drink Coke or Pepsi or anything like that. I do like tonic water. So when that's on sale, I will buy some, but I don't buy soft drinks. So those sorts of things don't often find their way into my shopping trolley. But everywhere we go, we see Australians eating. The weekend we stopped in Locola for, what did we stop for? We didn't get fuel. No, we didn't get fuel in Locola. To air up. Wayne was putting air in the tyres. So we stopped in Locola. So I was watching, and it was so busy. And there were people, and they were walking out of the store with sausage rolls and pies and bags of lollies, bags of chips, big umpfuls of things like that, and getting in the car. Now, this was yesterday mid-morning, so chances are they were heading home. So they were all foods that they were going to, and drinks that they were going to have in the car on the trip. So that's a lot of money. A lot of, I'd say empty calories, empty kilojoules, but I'm not sure. Probably not the best anyway. But that was a lot of money that they were spending. Probably, well, I know a small coffee was $4.50. So
that's about average.
It's about average for a small coffee, is it?
Yeah, it's depending on where you go and how good the coffee is.
Well, it's just a machine one that you push the button.
Oh, then no. You can get them for $1 at 7-Eleven.
Well, there's no 7-Eleven in Locola.
That's what they're doing.
Anyway, small coffee was $4.50. So, if 2 people in the car had coffee each, that's $9 straight away. So petrol was still $1.01 a litre. So that was like almost 9 litres of petrol, just under 9 litres of petrol that they drank in coffee. Think of it that way. So yeah, they were eating in the cars, and then we stopped into Gabby for lunch. So when we travel, I usually do take wraps, and we have cold meat or cheese, salad, veggies, whatever. For lunch yesterday, we had leftover veggies from the night before. We had a camp oven roast the night before. It was really good. So we had the leftover veggies. So what I'd done was I'd sliced them and I put them in our little, we have a little 12-volt pie oven, $59 from Dick Smith, which is no longer existent, but you can get them anywhere. They're really gorgeous.
You can still get them online.
Oh, can you?
Dick Smith's online.
Dick Smith's online, but any camping store has them now. They're really handy little pie warmers, little 12-volt pie warmer. And so I put them in an oven bag, put the veggies in an oven bag and put them in the pie warmer with the leftover roast. So come lunchtime, we put out the wraps and we had hot roast and veggie wraps for lunch. So it didn't cost us anything. But there again, there were people at the little store in this town walking out with pies and sausage rolls and more coffee and stuff like that. So again, that's a lot of money. Bags of chips and lollies were big too. So all sorts of things. Hello, Margarita. Right. So that was a lot of money that was wasted that we didn't do. Now, we don't normally buy meals when we travel, what we try to do for small places is buy fuel. We find, a little country town or somewhere, we will buy fuel. Even if we don't particularly need it, we buy fuel there simply because they need the tourist dollars to keep the town functioning and open and running, and tourists need them to be there. So if we stopped buying fuel there, they wouldn't be there when we needed them. They'd close down, we'd be stranded. So we like to support little country towns by doing that. Right, so people eat in the cars, they eat in the train, they eat in the bus, they eat walking down the street. They don't actually stop eating. They're just like shoveling food into their mouths all the time. And I wonder how often they realise that they're actually eating. Do they actually enjoy what they're eating? If you want to have a Mars bar, by all means have the Mars bar, but sit down and relax and enjoy it for the few minutes it takes to eat it. Don't just mindlessly feed it into your mouth and swallow and not enjoy it. That's I just think that's a waste. Excuse me for just one moment. My cup of tea's gone cold. All right. Cinemas, wherever you see babies in prams being fed, they make a noise, so mum straight away puts food in their hand. I didn't do that. I was a hard mother. I didn't do that. My kids weren't allowed to eat in the pram, and they weren't allowed to eat in the car. They were eating, they had to be at home, sitting at the bench or the table. Sometimes we'd have a picnic on the floor, and I'd put down the tablecloth, they could have a picnic on the floor, but it was planned. It wasn't shut me up food, so to speak. So it's almost as though we think we can't go more than an hour without eating. We just have to eat. It's bizarre, I think. It's a mindset. I will say that we've probably done it to ourselves and trained ourselves to eat our money, but TV advertising doesn't help because most of the ads for food. So, and take away junk food types of things too. Right. Now, when my kids used to say they were hungry, if it was between meals, I would offer them apple or orange or banana. I might offer them carrot sticks or celery or capsicum. If it was capsicum, Hannah always accepted the capsicum. She loved capsicum. But if they refused that, then my answer was, then you're not really hungry, you're bored, and I'd give them a job to do to take their mind off being hungry, because they weren't, they were bored. So we gave them something to do. And I often think when parents have children and their parents are busy and the kids want attention and they go, I'm hungry, the easiest way to not feel guilty as a parent and to keep the child happy is to give it some food to eat. Bag of chips, handful of sultanas, a chocolate cracker or whatever, but give it some food to eat. It trains them to just crave food. Now, that's fine. And if it's good food, like, a couple of capsicum sticks or whatever, it's not that drastic. But when it is the bag of chips or the muesli bar or the fruit roll-up or the yogurt pouch or whatever, that's a lot more money than a couple of capsicum strips that you are eating or you are feeding your child unnecessarily. So we have the $300 a month grocery challenge. And I have worked in the past with a couple of families who have sworn black and blue that they could not possibly stick to the $300 a month grocery challenge. by the time we actually went through what was in the pantry and what was in the fridge, what was in the freezer, and what they put in the shopping trolley, they could have easily come in under that. But Cocoa Pops, Cheezels, Coke or Pepsi, the fancy chocolate drink sachets, there was the yogurt pouchy, squeezy things that are all the rage now, the little cheese dippy things, all those snacky bits and pieces, plus, you know, packets of biscuits and crackers, all added up. But none of them are necessary and none of them are real ingredients, because remember, as cheapskates, we buy ingredients because they give us options, folks. Ingredients give you options. So take out all of those things from the grocery budget, and in one family's case, it actually came in $64 under the $300, and she was still getting more than enough food to feed herself, her husband, and her baby. And it was good food. It was healthy food, and it was ingredients. So she had lots of options and different ways to prepare those ingredients to give them variety. $64 straight away just by cutting out snacks. Then if you count coffee while you're out shopping, or the milkshake, or the thick shake, or the 50-cent ice cream from Hungry Jack's, or whatever it is, they've gone up to, see, it's a long time since I bought one. Hannah just said they've gone up to 70 cents.
I refuse to pay that for an ice cream.
Oh, my goodness. I can remember when they were 30 cents each, I would occasionally, very occasionally, buy the kids one each on the way home from somewhere, because it was 30 cents each. They were 3 for 90 cents. So if I had a dollar coin, I could spend it. When they went up to 40 cents, you put it over the dollar, I wouldn't do it anymore. Oh, hello, Catherine. Catherine's got a good point here, folks. The first few pages of each weekly catalogue is for snack items. Yes. The chocolate blocks, the sugary drinks, the cereals, all that sort of stuff. If you look at the supermarket, whether it be IGA or Coles, Woolworths, whatever, whether you look at them, they not often have ingredients. They will have the convenient stuff, which is really pricey, and it might be on half price, but it's really pricey. So it's easy to get sucked in because you think, oh, it's half price, but it's still expensive stuff. And often most of that stuff you can make at home. You can do your own dips. Hummus is easy to do. My basic French onion dip couldn't be any easier. Cottage cheese dips, they're easy to do. Cheese plates are easy to make at home. We just have to get out of the mindset of having to buy those things, when if you open your fridge, you've probably got sour cream in the fridge. You might have cheese in the fridge. You could have some crackers in your cupboard. You could have carrots, celery, capsicum to make veggie sticks. You've got the ingredients
chocolate chips
there for a good platter already. You don't need to buy the pre-cut cube cheese. Seriously, folks, it takes like 3 minutes to cut some cheese. It's a ridiculous price to buy it already in the cubes. Just daft.
Oh, yeah.
Just daft. So anyway, so usually if you're looking for ingredients, you won't find them in the catalogues. They just aren't there. Not often that you will see flour on sale or sugar on sale, or dried fruit comes on twice a year, Easter and towards Christmas. Sometimes you'll get rice on sale. Not often that you will get pasta that is cheaper than generic pasta anyway. So, no, you need to be really fussy and skip those first half, generally the first half of the catalogue. Then you've got a few bakery items. Again, they're rather expensive. You can make your own, and it's not hard to bake. And then some meat. If you're buying supermarket meat, I hope it's because you have no other option, because there are better options than paying the supermarket prices. Lucinda, busyness, I don't know that I agree with that. Lucinda says, the busyness of life these days leading to tiredness mentally and emotionally as well as physically contributes to spending more for convenience. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm inclined to think it's just laziness, without saying that you are lazy, because quite often we're not. But we have been brainwashed into thinking we can't do without these convenience things. We've been brainwashed into thinking that these convenience things are going to save us time. They don't necessarily save you time. You can buy the soup pack at the supermarket, which is roughly 5 times the cost of a carrot, a stick of celery and an onion, and tip it into your pot. But it will take you 3 minutes to chop the carrot, the stick of celery and the onion. We've been brainwashed into thinking we can't do these things for ourselves. It's a bit like, remember when I talked about making jam? People think jam is complicated. It's fruit and sugar, squeeze of lemon juice, simple. All you do is cook it. It's not difficult to do. We've just been brainwashed into thinking that we can't do these things at home ourselves. We don't have time. We're too tired. We're too busy. We're taking away quality time from our children. Baloney, folks. Baloney. Absolute baloney. None of those things. Yes, you might be tired, but if you're tired, then you plan ahead. So what I used to do when my kids were little and I was exhausted, and I did it a couple of years ago when I was really ill and it was an effort to get out of bed each day, tomorrow's dinner I prepare today. So I do the veggies and put them in the fridge, or I put whatever in the slow cooker, but today's was done tomorrow. Tomorrow I would do the next day's. So we always had one meal ahead. It's a bit like thinking, oh, I can't be bothered doing the dishes. I'll do them in the morning, and leaving the dishes overnight. It literally takes less than 15 minutes to do your dishes, wipe down your benches and take the rubbish out, and your kitchen's clean to start the next day. I'm sure everyone knows that awful feeling of waking up and going into the kitchen to hit the button for the coffee or the tea, and the sink's full of dishes and the bench has still got crumbs on it and the rubbish bin's overflowing, and you just feel like you are never going to catch up. So it's not necessarily that we are too busy or too tired, and probably not really lazy. We've just been brainwashed into thinking we can't do it. And that's just not true. We can. Now, you can look on our Facebook page, Facebook on Cheapskates Chatter. I think it was last night's What Did You Do Today to Save Money, Time and Energy? And look and see what Joy did. Kerry McKenzie, who's on here. I'm sure I saw Kerry pop up before. Look at any of the things that she does. Now, they all take time and they all take energy, but the saving for her and for Joy and for me is so much more. Our pizzas on a Thursday night, we could buy pizza. Now, pizzas from Domino's are pretty cheap. I don't like pizza. It's not my favourite food. It's not a food I like. But Wayne and the boys love pizza. So we could order the really Erky $6.50 pizzas, and they would probably eat them. But instead, we make our own. Now, in the time it would take to ring up, place the order, and get them delivered, we've got 3 pizzas on the table anyway. And it doesn't take that much effort. It just means you've got to think about it ahead of time. I understand the emotional tiredness. I understand the physical tiredness. But it's a mindset. It absolutely is a mindset. If you think you can't do without that convenience, then you can't do without it. If you look at it and go, wow, that is so simple, I could do that myself, you will do it. And if you're not sure on how to do something, ask one of us. Go to Google and Google it. Go to Pinterest and look for it. Type it in a YouTube search. Someone's sure to have done a video on it for you. You will find the instructions to do what you want if you ask. But I don't necessarily agree that spending more for convenience has to happen. It doesn't. Put the veggies in meat first. Julian Rod. What did Catherine say? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kathleen saw fresh diced onions at Woolies yesterday and they're crazy. Some members might know I did a story a while back on potatoes. Sliced potatoes. You still had to cook them. They were just sliced. And it was a few years ago at Woolworths, and they worked out to, at that time, they were $6.60 a kilo, when I could buy a kilo of potatoes for 50 cents. So even scrubbing the dirt off them is probably 2 cents. So that's $6.20, $6.10 difference in the price of a kilo of potatoes, because these were just raw sliced potatoes. You still had to cook them. No. And honestly, it takes no time to scrub a potato. You don't even have to peel it. Get a scrub bud, put some water in the sink and scrub it.
No, just peel it.
Okay. No, don't feel guilty, Lucinda, and please don't take it personally. I'm not having a go at you, but I think that you are capable of doing a lot more than you probably believe you are, simply because we are told we can't. And I'm here to say, yes, you can. You don't have to buy convenience, pay for convenience if you don't want to. You don't have to do it. You can care for your family, for yourself and your family, the way you want to. But don't feel guilty about it. Just, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't let the marketing gurus brainwash you into thinking that you are less than what you are, because you are not. We are all perfectly capable. I've just finished doing up the template for Thursday's newsletter. So if you get this week's newsletter, one of the links will be to a very old blog post I wrote about marketing and how it dumbs you down. Please read it. Don't let marketing dumb you down. That is the aim of marketing. It will dumb you down so that you believe what they feed you and you pay for it. That's the whole aim of the game. It's not to help you. It's to dumb you down enough that you just believe what they tell you and blindly hand over the money that you have to work hard for, when there's probably better things you would like to do with it. So don't feel guilty. If don't yeah, just you can do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But don't let marketing dumb you down, and don't ever think that you have to opt for convenience because you can't do it, because you can. Meal planning, I have no problem with grazing. Hannah was a grazer until she started school. She'd have like half an apple, not even a half an apple, just a piece of apple. Then maybe a half an hour later, she might have a couple of crackers with grandma. Then half an hour later, she might have some country cheese crackers with grandma. Then she might have some celery sticks. Then she'd have a sandwich for lunch. Usually by lunchtime, she'd finish the grazing. But in the morning, she was a massive grazer. And I really worried about when she started school. I'm like, oh, this kid is never going to survive. But of course they do, because she'd have a breakfast. And then school was really good with brain food. And brain food was never an issue for Hannah because she always preferred the veggie sticks, the carrot, celery, raw potato, capsicum, little tomatoes or strawberries, bits of apple, mandarin. She would prefer those. So it was never an issue. But oh my gosh, as a mother, I panicked something shocking when she started, oh, she's going to die of starvation before lunchtime. Never mind. Yeah. I sit a lot too, Delaney. Meal planning, I like the meal plan simply because if it's a really busy day and the world has gone crazy and your whole life has shifted to the side, just knowing that you can look on the meal plan and go, you beauty, shepherd's pie for tea, you don't have to stress about it. You can just do it. It's done. Or you can go shepherd's pie for tea. Don't feel like shepherd's pie, but we can have rissoles and mash because mince and potatoes, or make rissoles and mash. Again, ingredients. Give you options, folks. That's why I like our meal plan. It stops everyone going, what's for dinner? What's for tea? What are we going to eat? It stops that too. Biscuit cookie dough frozen in small balls. Oh, Kerry, I'm glad you said cookers and bakers need it, because I thought you were going to say eat them. Because when I do lunchbox cookies, I scrape the bowl as much as I can, but there's usually just that little bit of raw cookie dough left that's really quite nice to eat. Sorry. Vicky, what did people do when we had a shortage of food? They would not know how to survive.
I went to the shops every day.
We saw, even just the last 3 months, we've seen people panicking because they've not been able to get things, because they rely a bit much on the convenience factor and didn't have the ingredients to be able to make things. I shouldn't say I giggled, but it did sort of amuse me that there was a rush on flour and yeast because everyone's going to bake their own bread. Bread actually wasn't in short supply, but everyone's going to bake their own bread. And I just wondered how many people had actually made bread before, even with a bread maker, how many of them actually had made bread before. Because if you make bread, you know the first couple of loaves are usually doorstops or bricks. It's not often a beginner bread maker will make the perfect loaf of bread first time, even with a bread. Here we go, the hiccups again, sorry folks, even with a bread machine. So that sort of amused me. I wondered, are they now sitting at home with, 10 kilos of flour and 3 boxes of yeast and wondering how to use it or what to do with it? I'm wondering how much of it will go to food pantries and how much of it will find its way into the tip. Delaney, I don't like cooking. Normal everyday dinner, yeah, I do it, and I like to make food that my family will eat and enjoy, but I don't like cooking as such. If I'm doing it for a party or a barbecue or a big trip, we're going away and I'm getting ready for a trip, or I'm canning, dehydrating, making jams and stuff I love, but just getting dinner on the table every night is not my thing. But it would be good to know how many people, because not necessarily young people, but there's people my age that don't cook because they've never had to. They've just always been able to stop and buy something on the way home, or order takeaway or home delivery, or go out to eat. And so they don't cook. And in fact, a lot of the new apartments they're building in the city here in Melbourne don't even have stoves in their kitchens. They have a microwave, but they won't have a stove or an oven.
What?
Yeah, they have a microwave and a dishwasher, but they don't have a stove or an oven.
Why would you buy it?
Well, because it's the lifestyle. People that live that lifestyle won't cook.
No.
So, hello, Charmaine. Welcome. All right. Yes, Jane. That's Jane says sometimes deciding what to have for dinner at the last minute takes more effort than actually cooking dinner. But if you meal plan, it's so much easier. Yes, it is. And you know what? I do a year in advance. So October and November this year, I'll start working on next year's meal plan. It's an outline. You'll all hear me say I didn't stick to it, or you'll read in the newsletter I didn't stick to the meal plan, but the ingredients were there for whatever, so I was easily able to adapt them. I do the meal plan, print it out, stick it on the fridge. Everyone knows. In our house, we do roast on Sunday. Tuesday night's always some sort of pasta. It'll be spag bowl, lasagna, refrigerator lasagna, pasta bake, ravioli, gnocchi, something like that, some sort of pasta dish. And Thursday is always pizza. The boys do their own. That's my night off. Hannah and I will have
tuna surprise, stuffed potatoes,
stir-fry noodles, leftovers, soup, crumpets, or whatever, because we don't like the pizza. So those three, that's straight away every week. 3 nights are covered. Just makes it easy. Usually Saturday night I try to do something a bit simple, because we might be going out, or the kids might be going out, or I don't know who's going to be home, so it will be something like tacos or hamburgers or soup and crumpets, toasties, something like that. It's toasties. It's an easy night I try for Saturday night. I like to make Friday night something that's a little bit special, just because it's the end of the week. So, and then Tuesday and Wednesday I fill in with whatever. It's just the way it works. But again, I don't always stick to the meal plan. But I look at it, and like I said, if I see French shepherd's pie, I can go, don't feel like shepherd's pie tonight, but I've got mince and I've got potatoes, so we can have rissoles and mash. And it works. Okay. All right. So I'm too tired to cook. The family can look at the meal plan and cook it. That's exactly right, Kathleen. Linda, we are 2 but cook before, eat it for the next day. Yes. Meat and vegetables, healthier, large pot of soup. We love soup. Well, Hannah and I like soup. Thomas likes soup. Wayne, not so much, but he didn't grow up with soup. Alan can take it or leave it. He'd prefer to leave it, but if I put it in front of him, he eats it.
I think I'd rather stew.
They'd prefer a stew, yeah. Oh, Lucinda, that's so good. Well done. Proud of you. Okay, now, Linda, yes. We cook for 2 but cook for 4, eat it the next day. Right. I have a friend who is a single father. He has 1 son. That's what he does. He will do cook for 4 tonight, and they don't eat it the next night. They eat it the night after that, because he's sort of just so they don't get bored with it. But yeah, he'll do double veggies, whatever. He might cook the meat, if it's sausages or whatever. He might cook those fresh on the night, but he always does the double veggies and so on, so that he can, yeah, feed his son. And he likes to feed his son home cooked meal. And that's how he does it, because he works full time. He has to pick his son up from daycare, take him home, or after school care, take him home, do the homework, the reading, the bath, the whatever, feed the dog, all that sort of stuff. And dinner is pretty much done for him. So that's a good way to go. Right, KB, can you walk us through how you do that meal plan for a year in advance when you sit down to do it? Okay. Alrighty. I can do it really quickly now, and that might have to be maybe next week's show, if that will help everyone. I have a graph, a column, a table is what I'm thinking of, a table drawn up, and it's got days of the week across the top: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday across the top. And then down, I just do 52 lines. Under every Sunday, I fill in the Sundays first. And because we always have a roast on Sunday, and I've touched on this before, but Sunday is really easy. So it goes chicken, beef, chicken, lamb, chicken, beef, chicken, lamb, all the way down for the 52 lines. Then I slip across to Thursday, and straight away in there I put the pizza. So straight away, every week has got 2 meals done. Tuesday is then always a pasta dish. So I might start with spag bowl, pasta bake, ravioli, lasagna, gnocchi, carbonara, Alfredo, and rinse and repeat all the way through for the pasta dishes. And that gives us reasonable variety. So we're not eating the same pasta over and over and over. Just means that I don't get sick of cooking it over and over and over. Then I switch straight away, go down to the Saturdays, and I will do tacos, hamburgers, toasties, soup and toast or soup and crumpets, homemade pies. It could be, sometimes I call it just finger food, and that'll be sausage rolls and spring rolls and little dim sims and things, whatever, and put those in, and I just go down, 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 down for the 52 weeks. Then I fill in the other gaps depending on the season. So summer we tend to eat more barbecues, so might be sausages and salad, or chops and salad. It could be rissoles and salad, grilled chicken and salad, or it might be schnitzel and salad, something like that in the summer. In the winter, it's more soups and casseroles, beef pie or chicken pie, quiche, that sort of thing, with veggies and salad. Now, we eat salad pretty much all year round. We all like salad, so we eat it pretty much all year round. On my meal plan in the newsletter, you'll often see it'll just say schnitzels, and it might say schnitzels and veg or schnitzels and salad. The salad and the veg are interchangeable depending on my mood on the night, what we have, or depending on how close it is to fruit and veg shopping day as to what we have. But that's all I do, and I have a big chart done, and then I go back to the top, figure out when the 1st of January is, and go January 1, 2, 3, 4, and date them all, just so I know roughly what they are. And I actually probably wouldn't bother doing that, except that that's the meal plan that I use for the newsletter, so I can just quickly copy it and put it into the newsletter for you. I hope that makes sense, but I'll do it maybe next week. Next Tuesday, will we do a detailed, I'll show you my graph and work it out for you. It takes probably, all up, probably takes me 2 hours to do it. And then it's done for the whole year. The best part is it uses ingredients. So like I said, if I want to swap something around, I can, because the ingredients are there. And when you have ingredients, you have options. Okay. Yeah. 10-minute mince steak stew and had it on toast. Home canned ingredients. Perfect, Kerry. Salads are good. Look, we grow, I don't have any in the garden at the moment because I put in, we've got broccoli, cabbages, cauliflower, silver beet, beetroots, parsnips, turnips.
Garlic.
Garlic. Lettuce. I'm still, this happens to me every year, but we still have capsicums that are producing. And I hate to pull the plants out while they're still producing food, but I really need the space for other things. So I'm torn between whether I give up on the capsicums and hope that I've got enough or keep going. So capsicums, eggplants, yeah, we do that. And it's really, that will keep us going too. Okay. Yes, please. Is that yes, please to the meal plan, Barb? I'll see what I can do. I think next Tuesday, we'll do the meal planning for a year. It's actually very simple. Quite easy. Yeah. And it's just, I think, who was saying? Lucinda was saying, it's just nice to know, Julie. Someone was saying, it's just nice to know you don't have to think about it. Come 4 o'clock, you don't have to start going, oh, what's for dinner? Oh, no, what are we going to eat? Because you just look at the meal plan and go, beauty. Perhaps look at tomorrow's tonight so that if you have to take anything out of the freezer, you can. But it's easy to do. Thanks, Barb. Okay. Jane, how long does homemade yogurt last in the fridge? 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If you want it to last longer, tip it upside down.
Make sure it's an airtight container.
Make sure it's in an airtight container so that it doesn't leak, but keep it upside down. So if it's in the Easy-O jar with a screw top lid, that's fine. Just store it upside down. It will last for 2 to 3 weeks easily. I've never kept it longer than that, but we go through it fairly quickly. So, but yeah, easily 2 to 3 weeks. It will last a decent amount of time. With your homemade yogurt, as long as it's not molding, hasn't gone that yellowy, orangey yellow colour, or doesn't smell off, it will be fine to eat. How's that? Does that sound? So just remember, if it's not moldy, hasn't changed to that yellowy, orangey, pinky colour, and smells okay, it should still smell sour like yogurt, but not off, then it will be fine. But yeah, if you keep it upside down in the fridge, easily 3 weeks. Okay, now, dinner is not an issue for me to organise. I struggle with lunch menu plan. Okay, Outback 6 lunches. Depends. Are you doing lunch? Are you doing packed lunches or home lunches? If you're doing packed lunches, what I used to do when I was packing school lunches was Monday was always tuck shop day. Wayne's mum and my mum shared the cost of giving the kids tuck shop on a Monday, so that was good. Tuesday was usually a sandwich, and it would be probably some leftover roast with salad, or leftover roast with pickles and cheese, depending on what the child liked. Wednesday, I tried to change it up a bit. It might be a muffin pizza. Now, all I did for those, split the muffins, spread them with good old tomato sauce, Heinz, Rosella, White Clove, whatever you've got, tomato sauce, sprinkle of mixed herbs, slice of cheese, pop it under the grill, let the cheese melt, bring it out, let it cool down, wrapped it in foil, and they loved muffin pizzas. They loved them. Thursday would be, what was that, Dad?
Yeah.
I didn't see. What did he do? Sorry, folks. Muffin pizzas. Thursday we're back to a sandwich, and it would be something, I don't know, whatever the filling would be, egg or something like that. Friday we're getting towards the end of the week, so it might be crackers and cheese because we wouldn't have the bread, or it could be sausage rolls or veggie rolls, whatever we did for lunch. They always had a piece of fruit, so it would be a mandarin or an orange, an apple, a bunch of grapes, some strawberries or something. I used to make muffins for them to take in the lunchbox, and they were mini muffins. So they were probably about the size of a 20-cent coin. I made them, I put them in the chocolate papers. So one batch of muffin batter made about 200, or hundreds of them anyway, and I would give them one of those in their lunch as their sweet dessert thing, and their drink bottle of water. Tried to give it a bit of variety through the week. Weekends was just whatever we're having, soup and toast or leftovers, pies, whatever, toasties, sandwiches, sausages in bread, whatever we were having for the weekends when everyone was home. Is anyone else crazy about watercress besides me? No, not too keen on watercress, or not a lot of it because it's a bit peppery for me, but it fills a spot. So I'm getting the wind up signal. Is it nearly time? Yes, it is. Okay. So guys, we sort of got off the track of are we eating our way into debt, but snacks cost money. So when you go to Adventure Shopping Trolley, think about it. Think about the cost. Because that $1.20 on that box of Cheezels is just $1.20. But if you do that every week, you know, that's $50 to about $60 a year, I think. Have I worked that out right?
$62.40.
$62
That's if they're on half price.
$62.40 a year if they're on half price. So when you say it like that, that's almost a week's worth of groceries for the $300 a month food challenge. Think about it that way. Alrighty. Outback 6, I hope that helped you. I'll think more on that for you. Okay, folks, I've definitely got the winding up signal. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope it's been good. Please remember to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell if you would like to be notified of when new shows are coming up. If you haven't subscribed to our weekly newsletter, pop on over to the Cheapskates Club website and subscribe to the newsletter. It goes out every Thursday, totally free. All I need is your name and your email address, and I won't get any other junk from me. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday and we'll talk about meal planning for a year because it's really quite simple. Sounds overwhelming, but it's not. Thank you again for joining me, and I shall see you next Tuesday. Bye.